everybody, so it is July 1st, and I do have for you a book haul slash unhaul. Remember when I said that I was going to not buy books this summer, and then that just completely died? Because I do, but take this off. So first up, the unhaul. I've got a few. First up, I'm unhauling this copy of The Dead Zone. I believe I have a better copy coming, and most of these little Stephen King paperbacks, unless I love them, I can get rid of them. You will notice that there are some Stephen King paperbacks in the book haul, but you can ignore them. So there's that. I'm also getting rid of Nailed by Patrick Jones, which is a young adult book about this kid who doesn't get along with his dad. It was alright. I just feel like I've kept it around like way too long, and I'm not getting anything new out of it. I've got Sarah's Key by Tatiana de Rosne. I did just read this one. It's historical fiction. It was pretty good, but I don't need it around. I've got the copy of The Catcher in the Rye. This is a book that I would like to get a cool edition of. I don't know if there are any. The only edition I've ever seen is this one, but at some point there has got to be one cool edition of The Catcher in the Rye out there, so I'll be looking for that at some point, I guess. I've got Bad Dreams by R.L. Stine. This is a Fear Street book. Don't need to keep it. I've got the Bachman books by Stephen King. I've got 2 hardcovers of the Bachman books, and I feel like I should be spreading the rage love so I can give it to somebody else. Silent Night 2, which is the worst Fear Street book I've ever read. On the Road by Jack Kerouac. This is another one where I think I'd like a better edition. I Shield 21 Volume 1 by Richiro Inagaki and Yusuke Murata. This was a fun manga. I have some more of them that I have not really, in books that I haven't really gone through yet. So they'll be gotten rid of at some point too. But yeah, it was a fun one, but I probably don't need to keep it. Fiend by Peter Stenson. This was one of my very first ever Goodreads wins. I don't know why I kept it for so long, probably because the covers are really cool, but don't need it. Got this copy of Gone by Michael Grant. I love the Gone series, but I have a better set. By that I mean the gross old covers. I'll put up a picture. I don't need this. Nightmares and Dreamscapes by Stephen King. I think I have a better one of this one coming too. Sex and Violence by Carrie Mesrobian. I've gotten rid of all of my other Carrie Mesrobians. I don't know why I've been holding on to this one so long, but I have, so we can get rid of it now. And finally, The Fall by Bethany Griffin, which I read a while ago. I really, really enjoyed, but I don't need to keep a hold of it anymore. Alright, then the book haul. It's not as big as some of my previous book hauls have been. It's still 3 stacks, so let's get going. Okay, first up I've got my June Book of the Month book. I only picked one, didn't pick any add-ons. That has changed for July, but for June I didn't have any add-ons. I picked Half Sick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian. This is like a King Arthur thing. I don't know. When I picked it, I was really in the mood for fantasy, and so this was the fantasy pick. So I was like, hell yeah, brothers. So I got it. Then we went to Barnes & Noble, and Steven bought me books. He bought me Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair Volume 1. I did haul a couple of the other Danganronpa books from the first set, but I played this game and everything, so I'm not super worried about spoilers. They didn't have the next one, the first in the Hope's Peak one, so I decided to get the Island Living one, the first one of these. This is it was a game and an anime and everything, it's like a battle royale kind of thing. It's fun, trial aspect. Then I also picked up from there Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. This is like another fantasy assassin stuff. This was really big when it came out. I never picked it up, but now I've got the first book in the series, so I can check it out. I've got a true crime one. It's How to Catch a Killer by Catherine Ramsland. This is another profiles and crime book. I've been kind of nabbing all of these, but this has, I believe, people like Gacy. It's got the Golden State Killer. It's got BTK. It's got all the big ones. But it just looked like a fun time. Then I've got my own book. That is 40 Days by Aurora Dimitri. This is book 2 in the Mythology of Hell, which is about kids who accidentally go to hell. Check it out, please. But this is book 2. I also have books 3 and 4 in here because those came out this month as well. But do have book 2. Then this is what broke my book buying ban, by the way. I rage bought it in Walmart at 9 p.m. That's Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I've been looking at this for a while now. It's like a Greek mythology. I love Alexandra Bracken's writing, and so I just decided to pick it up in a rage at Walmart. So there was that. Then I've got book 3 in the Pentology of Hell. That is Lake of Fire, which again, Pentology of Hell, about a bunch of kids who accidentally go to hell. There's a whole bunch of different people there, whole revolution thing going on. It's gonna be 5 books plus a bunch of novellas and shit, so definitely get in on that. I also picked up Adele by Layla Slimani. I have The Perfect Nanny as well. I have not read The Perfect Nanny. This was $2 at a Dollar General, and that's why I bought it. I've got The False Prophet by me. This is book 4 in the Pentology of Hell. This one's the littlest one so far. Book 5 is going to be bigger, so that's going to be fun, but there's this. And then I started working at the library again. If you'll remember way back in college, I used to have these giant book hauls because I would take books from the library that I worked at, and I work there again. So I have You Will Know Me by Megan Abbott. This is like a thriller kind of thing. I believe it focuses on gymnastics, like a Larry Nassar kind of deal, maybe. I don't know, but it did look interesting. It's one that I've known about for a while, and now I have it, and it's mine. Then I made a book outlet order. I actually made 2, but the other one hasn't come yet. But they were doing a sale. It was like buy 2 get 1 free. So for this one, I got Internment by Samira Ahmed, which is about a kind of dystopian in which there are like Muslim internment camps in the U.S. and stuff like that. So I don't know. It looked interesting. Also got The Field Guide to the North American Teenager by Ben Philippe. This is one that I was vaguely interested in since it came out. This is about I believe a French-Canadian kid who moves to Texas, and he deals with that. Although, funnily, he moves to Austin, which is, I think, kind of notoriously blue for Texas, at least. So that's fun. But this is one that I've been vaguely interested in ever since it came out. But now I have it. Also picked up Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson, which is about a girl whose best friend goes missing, and nobody else really seems to care. But yeah, that's what I like to call my diverse book outlet haul. Then I picked up a couple more books from the library. I got We All Fall Down by Robert Cormier. I have this book. I love this book so much. But this is a beautiful hardcover of We All Fall Down, and that is what I live for. So, got this. We got Girl Through Glass by Sarah Wilson, which I believe is about like a dancer or something like that. This one was one that I'd never heard of before when I got it, and it just looked really interesting to me, so I did just pick it up. It looks kind of literary, maybe slightly thrillery, I don't know, but should be fun. Then Miracle Wimp by Eric P. Kraft, which is one that I actually read as a child, and I saw it was being weeded, and I was like, sure. Then yesterday was June 30th, and so it was our last day to finish up everything at the old apartment. And then Steven had to work, and he still works in that town, which is half an hour from this one. I didn't want to drive my giant fucking car over there to drive back because it just seemed like a waste of gas. So instead, I stayed in town and walked for 4.5 fucking hours. But I did go shopping. First up, I found these 2 at like a little free library. First up, I found this gorgeous edition of Romeo and Juliet. I've seen these editions, but only ever in like mass market paperback. This is a full-size paperback, and it's floppy, and it's glorious. I love Romeo and Juliet, and I will fight you, because I know that's unpopular. People love hating on Romeo and Juliet, but I like it. Then, this was very exciting. I found 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson, and this is a signed first edition. So that's pretty cool. This is like a thriller. I've seen like Books and Lala talk about it. It's about a guy who like writes up a blog post of like the 8 perfect murders in literature, and then people start dying. So that should be fun. And then I went to 2 thrift stores and the little bookstore. First up, I got some Stephen King. I got The Wastelands, Third Dark Tower book in this edition. Will I keep it? Probably not, because I have a big floppy paperback, but we'll see. I also got Thinner in this edition, the same edition as this one, the kind of 90s mass market paperback. I love Thinner, and I like this edition. I do have a Bachman hardcover, so I probably won't keep it, but whatever. And also in a blast from the past, I picked up Marked by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I read these in high school. They were these just god-awful vampire novels. I just thought it would be fun. And then What Happened to Goodbye by Sarah Dessen, which is a young adult contemporary. Sarah Dessen was kind of the queen of young adult contemporary back in like the early 2000s, and I don't know when this one came out, but she continues to publish things. Not in 2011. It's about, I believe, a girl who moves to a new town and kind of reinvents herself or something. I don't know. Then I picked up this copy of The Dark Half by Stephen King. I've got a hardcover, but it doesn't have a dust jacket. So what I'll probably do after I read this is I just put this dust jacket on the other one and then get rid of the hardcover here. I'm thinking, but I love The Dark Half. It's about a guy whose pseudonym comes to life after he tries to bury it. Kind of very Bachman inspired. One of my favorite Stephen King books. I've got The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapina, which I have heard things about. I don't know the details. I think it's like a murder happens or something like that, and then everybody's like, what's going on with this couple? I don't know for sure. I've got Shopaholic Ties the Knot by Sophie Kinsella. I've been slowly just collecting these Confessions of a Shopaholic book. So yeah, I think I've got the first one and like the 10th one or something like that. But now I've got this one too. So I saw the movie 7,000 times when I was in high school because our business teacher sucked and would just show us that movie and The Pursuit of Happiness over and over again. I've got Anna Kendrick's autobiography, Scrappy Little Nobody. So there's that. And finally, I've got The Bronze Key by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. I read the first one years and years ago. I own the second one, haven't read it yet, and now I own the third one. So there's that. But yeah, that is my next book haul / unhaul. That's all for today. I will talk to you later, and goodbye.